so I'm going to ride the Scout Rogue. We've got a Scout Bobber 20 already in the garage, so I've got some familiarity with this platform. This will be the first time riding one of these. It's the new model this year, so let's get with it. Alright, so this has got the new Syndicate seat, which is actually pretty nice on my booty. Got a nice little shelf. I'm used to the 1920 solo seat, so it's definitely a little different feel. My bike also has the 10-inch mini apes, so it's a pretty familiar riding position. One thing I'm interested in trying to discern from this ride is how much different it's going to feel and maybe dip into a corner differently than mine. What I've got now is a 2020 Indian Scout Bobber 20 with wire. It's got the bigger wire wheels, chunkier tires on the front. This has got the larger wheel in the front with the skinnier tire. So you would think it should dip in with a little less work than mine. So that's one of the things I want to find out. Other than that, I think this has got some stuff done to it. I'll put the information in this video about what's been done to this one. Usually demo days I try to throw some Indian accessories on them, kind of to highlight those. I know there's a Springfield in this group with the trunk on it, the new trunk that just came out. Actually looks pretty cool. Doesn't hold a lot, but it holds some. So I mean, it's something worth considering. It's low profile, so it looks cooler if you're trying to go for a trip and you don't have a ton of stuff to pack. But anyway, so the Rogue, you can have different paint options. Obviously, you have the tanks painted, but the fenders front and back are black. Heads are black, so you're not going to be able to easily tell between a Rogue 60 and a Rogue Standard like you can with the bobbers. There's Ray on the FTR. I reviewed the FTR last year, so check that video out. It looks like a almost identical bike, but those are pretty cool. So the other differences are, you got on this one at least, it's got the shocks, it's got the piggyback shocks on it. It's got the 10-inch apes with this fairing, the quarter fairing on it. I don't think the quarter fairing is really doing anything. I'm still feeling a lot of wind on my chest, but that's what I'm used to, so it's no big deal. So I mean, if you're looking for a bobber style bike, you don't like the chunky wheels, and you wanted to add like a quarter fairing and stuff, you know, this is definitely a cool bike to get. It's going to take almost all, if not all, of the same modifications and accessories that you can get with the bobber, which is getting pretty robust. I mean, again, it's no Sportster as far as aftermarket, but there's a lot of stuff, a lot of good companies that are making stuff for the bobber platform, and there's a lot of good YouTube content. Messy Garage is one of the, you know, a good place to look for bobber content. Okay, so you got different colors. I like this blue, it's really cool. It's kind of like it's almost like a denim blue, but it's gloss, if that makes sense. So it's not the flat, but it's that like a denim color, I think. I like it a lot. Again, yeah, we're going a little faster now. The fairing's not doing much. I do know this is a regular Scout Rogue and not the 60 because I'm in 6th gear. One of the differences in the all the Scout platforms, the 69 versus the 60, is you aside from the displacement, you're also going to have a difference in transmission from 5 to 6. So this has the 6. hearing a strange sound. I don't think I'm over enough to scrape pegs, so I'm not sure what that sound is. Again, I think that's with this bike personally, not the bobber platform in general. It's got the aftermarket tack, which is pretty cool. I don't know that it's necessary, but I actually, in all honesty, I might take the plunge and add it to my bike because I do like the looks of it. And having a analog tack is kind of a cool thing to have. I'm not a big fan of the digital ones. So we'll see. We're running out of things to do to my bobber anyway, so that might be a good little bit of treat yourself. So I'm trying to see, I mean, I guess it does feel a little bit more agile side to side with the smaller wheel in the front, the skinnier wheel in the front. I can't get used to the exhaust being so quiet though. Yeah, this Syndicate seat does hold you in a lot better. So this one's also got the smoke turn signals, which are a nice add. I'm not a big fan of the big orange turn signals sticking out on the Scouts and Scout bobbers. Got the bar end mirrors, which are nice. I've got them on mine. Those are one of those love it or hate it type of things, but the other thing to keep in mind, you've heard horror stories about hitting the tanks with the bar end mirrors on bobbers, but this one and the 20 both have the 10-inch mini apes, so your mirrors are high enough where they're not gonna get in the way. And if you know how to adjust them anyway, you can get them adjusted where it takes the risk of hitting your tank out of the equation. But I know that's been a complaint other people have had. It's a good feeling bike. I mean, it feels much like my bobber. It's pretty nimble, pretty quick. It's a torquey engine. The transmission is pretty solid. I've never had any problems with mine. And I've got a couple years of the seat on my Scout bobber, so it's been a very solid bike. So I don't think you can go wrong with this, actually. I mean, it's if you're looking for something in the Scout platform, this is definitely an option. I think coming out and calling it its own model's a little bit of a stretch, in my opinion. It's basically a Scout bobber with a skinnier, bigger wheel in the front. There's not a whole lot more changes that I like to that. I mean, some people they go wild about the blacked out heads, which I guess, you know, that's just, you know, if that's what you like, then that's cool, you know. So you can get a 69 cubic inch engine with the blacked out heads. That's pretty cool. So that's one thing I guess that would push you to it. This fairing would be another, but again, there's also aftermarket options for that as well. Yeah, it's got all the power that a Scout has, you'd expect. It's a great engine. I got a Challenger running right up my ass, so he's doing the same thing I am, but kind of letting people get a little ahead and gunning it. So yeah, these are fun bikes. So yeah, what I was talking about is that, you know, having it be its own model, maybe not, but it's definitely a cool variant for sure. And I guess I could feel a little bit of difference, you know, turning, but not a ton. So then I go back to, you know, what do I like as far as a look, right? So on my bobber, I tended to gravitate more towards the chunkier tires and the wire wheels. So that's the look I'm going for. So this would be, I wouldn't say a non-starter, but I would be looking at this if I bought one and actually looking to put wire wheels on it, and people would be like, what the heck are you doing? You're just making your own bobber 20. So I would have definitely considered one of these if I was in the market when I bought mine. Would I have gotten it? I don't know. I still love the looks of what I got. But yeah, this is a fun bike for sure. The other thing I kind of like on the other bobbers better, and again, this is not the feel of the bike, this is not performance or anything. I like the colored fenders. The black fenders, they're cool, but I just prefer having the color go all the way through the tank in both fenders. The bobber I have is the sagebrush smoke, so it's the, you know, it's the matte army green looking color, and you know, to me the fenders just look great on that. They, you know, having that color flow all the way through the bike is better on the eyes to me. But again, it doesn't take anything away from this bike at all. This thing's a blast. So 69 cubic inch engine, claimed 100 horsepower. I'm not sure. You'd have to get one on a dyno and tell. I don't think it's going to be 100 at the wheel. It is no slouch by any stretch of the imagination, though. It's got a 6-speed transmission. Not a whole lot of bells and whistles. There's no fuel gauge on this, because I know it's another gripe of people with the bobber platform. Now, you just watch your miles, use your odometer, your tripometer, you're good to go. But it's a, you know, overall it's a great bike, great platform, and I would not take one of these and keep it stock. Just like I know a lot of people buy them and then modify the hell out of them. So this is a perfect platform for that. Definitely recommend you guys taking a look at the Rogue. So if anybody's wondering where this beautiful scenery is, this is northern Indiana in August. That's what it looks like up here. So it actually does dip a little easier into bends, like people say. Not that the bobber is too difficult to do it on either. Yeah, something's definitely scraping when I take a hard left. So I think I was scraping the kickstand is what it looks like. Oh, me? Okay.